shit is not applicable.
Hi guys, this is my second time trying to film this video because the first time I just couldn't get the words out. So yeah, I'm just here because I have a theory about this whole COVID-19 thing. And I don't know if
anyway, let's see what you need to be aware of. What's the one thing they need to be aware of in the next 7 days?
For some reason, it's really hard for my brain to form. It's hard for my brain to form words, or really more so for my brain to make my mouth form words. But
the brewski don't mean shit to him. You know what I'm saying?
So what I think is going on with this whole COVID-19 thing, and I feel like my spirit team wants me to put this out, and I do ask my team to protect this message and to give peace of mind, heart, and soul to anyone who might see this, who is freaking out during quarantine. So yeah, but who's to say that the earth really needed a break from us humans? And the earth, because the earth is a living being in of itself, so who's to say that the earth didn't just need a break from us humans? So the earth went to God, and that's how this whole COVID-19 thing happened, or I feel like I'm getting the download from
out singing somebody or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Actually, no, I'm getting download from Jesus, who is just saying, or somebody from my team who is saying, no, this COVID-19 thing just happened, and I'm actually hearing this other person who talked about it, who I follow here on YouTube. I'm hearing her giving a channel message about that too. But yeah, but like, even if this COVID-19 thing just happened, I feel like regardless of how it happened, or if it just happened, we are in quarantine right now, and I feel like I'm getting the message that this virus might have just happened, but the mandated quarantine is meant
on family members, maybe like
for a spiritual awakening.
I don't know,
and for people to go inward and to do their inner work and their inner healing, so that when we come out of the whole COVID-19 mandated quarantine thing, we can start to rebuild the earth as it should have been.
But it's a lot of drug use out here, G. I feel it. I don't know what to do.
I mean, like, and now obviously, you cannot force people to spiritually awaken, but I feel like you can, at the very least, give them the choice.
My reading's been weird, but I noticed like a lot of readers are picking up on just.
Do you want to awaken, or do you want to stay stuck in the matrix and stuck asleep where you are, and then just
those are the people that
give the people and just let the people make their own decision of if they want to awaken or not.
Shout out to content. Yes. Reap what you sow came out. Be aware.
Yeah.
Be aware of divine feminine. This whole thing makes me feel like
also, guys,
bending to someone credit
I listen
or bending to someone else's
I got a new electric guitar.
You know what I'm saying? You need to be self-disciplined. This is boundaries and shit. Even if it's your mama, nana, or shit, grandmama, big mama, I don't give a fuck. You reap what you sow. Be aware of choosing other people over yourself.
So
in the next 7 days. So let's say your divine counterpart does come back.
So
everybody like, I know you want to be back with us, all the other shit. Be aware the motherfuckers stopping you from getting this shit. If that's what you want, that's for that group. Or any opportunity, business,
also,
movie, whatever the fuck. Be aware motherfuckers trying to talk you out of that shit, divine feminine. In the next,
I'm willing to say and
day and night lose your edges and all this shit for your mama and big mama and them to be like, I don't think you should do it. Bitch. Divine feminine, you know better. Some of y'all do. Others of y'all need to.
And I feel like my team.
Listen to your mama, big mama, right? Because you are reaping what you sow. Those that know what I'm talking about, the way you can know what category.
I feel like my team my spirit team is just pushing me to say this.
Your mama and shit. They telling you right, don't fuck with that motherfucker because every time that motherfucker come around, fucked up shit happen.
But
that know better and shit, or that can feel the energy and read a motherfucker, you mature enough spiritually to know if you can fuck with this person or not. Don't let someone else stop you from getting what you want. That's in regards to opening your business, relationships, coinage, whatever the.
But yeah, my brain apparently doesn't want to make my mouth form sentences right now. So I'm gonna ask, I already asked him before the first time I tried making this video, but I'm gonna ask him again. That Archangel Gabriel Archangel Gabriel, you are the archangel of speaking your truth, right? Okay, so I'm getting a big yes on that. Can you help me get everything out that I need to? Okay. Thanks, dude. But, yeah. And also, if I didn't say this already, Happy Easter, guys. Yeah, but also, okay, this person that I actually am curious to all your questions. who believe in the Bible, do you truly actually believe in it, or have you just been told to believe in it? But also Christians, why? And this more so applies to the extremists, Christians who take it way too far. But to those Christians who do take it way too far and who are extremists, why? I mean, seriously, why do you attack people who have different beliefs than you do? I mean, seriously. I think it was like a week or two ago, I got into a confrontation of a text message from somebody that I knew for the past 24 years of my life, who apparently is supposed to be part of the quote-unquote family. And because, I mean, yeah. Okay, so earlier that day, I just kept feeling like my grandpa, and it was really weird to call him that, because I never felt like I was part of my family, and I still don't. But you know what, that's what people identified him as with me. It's like, oh, he's your grandpa. So you know what, I'm just gonna call him that, even though I'm sorry, dude, I don't feel like I was your grandkid, much less part of this family, but anyway, I felt like my grandpa, who crossed back over to the other side, I think it was a year or two ago. I felt like he wanted to get in contact with my grandma, and I feel weird for calling her that too, but same thing. People kept telling me she was my grandma, so I'm just gonna go with it. But anyway, I kept feeling and hearing my grandpa's name, so I asked, and I think I found out that he wanted to contact my grandma because he wanted to tell her something, and I didn't trust myself to not get too emotional, or to not let my emotions take over and have my emotions and my ego ruin the message that he wanted to get to her. So when my parents decided to video call them with them and other people from the family or from their family, I kept hearing my grandpa push me to tell me, or to give her a message for him, and I didn't trust myself, so I ended up giving my grandma a medium's or a psychic medium's or website information, so that if she wanted to get in contact with him, she could do so. And my grandpa was making me feel like either he wanted to get in contact with her so he could tell her something, or that she wanted to get in contact with him but didn't want to say anything. So that's why I gave her this psychic medium's contact information, because by this point I was watching her on YouTube for a few months now, so I felt like I trusted her more so than myself to be that line of communication if she wanted that from him. But okay, but long story short, I told her, long story short, my supposed mother said that she would give my aunt this person's contact information since she wrote, or this person's website information since she wrote it down too. And because my aunt was basically my grandma's tech person, but no, either she or my sister gave her my aunt's number. So yeah, and then my aunt basically asked me for that psychic medium's contact information again. So, not wanting to question her right off the bat, I just gave that information to her, and then yeah, she started going at it with me. And at first I thought, okay, does she want to connect with Dale too? Or in society, but yeah, so I thought, yeah, I thought my aunt possibly wanted to get in contact with him too, but was scared and unsure because she's never done this before, so me wanting to ask her if she was scared or something, so that if she was, I could reassure her. I asked, and basically she wasn't, dude, she just wanted to go off into a religious debate, so she turned it into a debate. She told me her views. I didn't even tell her mine. The only thing I told her was I do not read the Bible because I do not know how old that thing is and how many times it's been translated over and over again. And she kept telling me she wanted to try and understand, and me not wanting to continuously question and dwell her, I asked her one time if she really wanted to understand, and she said yes. So she asked me where I got, or she asked me something having to do with the religion and what I, or having to do with Christianity and what I believe. So again, I sent her a little video of this psychic medium who I actually agree with so much. So and then as soon as she saw the title of that video, she went the F off on me. And basically kept shoving Bible verses down my throat. Or kept trying to do so. And then she sent me a link to one of her pastor's sermons. But the funny thing that really got me was she said that she kept bringing up the fact off and on that oh, you cannot use any form of divination, you cannot talk to a medium. Or actually no, she kept bringing up the fact that you cannot talk to a medium, you cannot talk to angels or archangels. And then she brought up part of the Bible that said that when this one dude saw an angel, he was very afraid. And of course I did not tell her this, but I wanted to say that dude, one, angels are messengers of God, so what if part of the way God communicates is through his angelic team? Or through his angelic army? And angels, they do not want to make you afraid. They do not. But you know what? I don't want to go on about this conversation, but long story short, she kept putting Bible verses and quoting Bible verses at me. And then she basically just said that, and she said this out of the blue, but she said that her and her friends were gonna be praying for me because she was very concerned for my spiritual welfare. And she actually kept saying that, like, she was very adamant on how she was very concerned for my spiritual welfare. But the thing that makes me wonder though is Christians, do you believe in the Bible because that's what you're told to believe, or you actually believe it? Because I got news for you. And I will admit, I don't know if I should say her name right now or her channel name, so I'm not going to do so. But, but you know what, if my team or her team wants to bring this mess of a video to her attention, then okay. But anyway, back to, because I want to piggyback a little bit off of what she said on how the Bible is contradicting itself. Because she did say that the Bible contradicts itself constantly. And one of the examples she used was divination. How in one part of the Bible it said something like you cannot use divination or something, but then in another part of the Bible, God turned Moses's, or I think it was Moses's staff, into a serpent. Or how he set a bush on fire. I can't remember the two different people he did that to, or maybe it was the same person, I don't know. I don't really read the Bible, but those two things are forms of divination, which is what she said, so I'm giving her credit for all that. But what just came to my mind though is Christians, if you, like, let's say if you believe God is a physical entity up somewhere in the sky, but he's a physical entity like you and me, then who's to say that, and this goes for psychic mediums too, because apparently Christians like to, or at least it seems like the fake Christians I've run into like to say that, oh, psychic mediums are going to hell or something for connecting with the other side, when the Bible says not to do that. What if those same people who do that, what if by reading the Bible and you guys believing the Bible to be 100% true and the supposed word of God, like, you guys read the Bible in hopes of connecting with this God entity, right? So who's to say reading the Bible itself is not a form of divination? Because you are reading the Bible in hopes of connecting with a higher entity. To me, and guess what? Things like tarot cards or pendulums are used to do the same type of thing. They are used to connect with other entities, and yes, even higher entities. sorry, sorry guys, I just heard to say cross-legged, but yeah, who's to say? Actually, no. Well, I feel like, at least for me, in my opinion, that is becoming more fact in my mind, that you can't really judge mediums or psychics or anyone else who connects with higher beings like angels or archangels or even departed spirits of departed people who crossed on. Like, you cannot say we're going to hell, because guess what? You are doing the same thing by reading the Bible. You are reading the Bible in hopes of connecting with a higher God entity. And also, it even says in the Bible to not judge people. Well, Christians are kind of judging people. Actually, no, you are judging people whenever you say things like, oh, you cannot do that. Or like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that because it's forbidden. Or it's in the Bible and the Bible tells you not to. Or whatever you guys say. I mean, like, for instance, with my aunt and a conversation, she was judging me the entire time. And I know she was. Because the way she was talking to me was in a judgment way, and she was basically shoving Bible verses down my throat. And that alone is hypocritical. Because guess what? Christians who judge, you Christians that judge, your Bible tells you not to judge. But by you talking to people who have a different belief than you and shoving Bible verses down their throats and definitely saying things like, oh, you're the devil, or you're worshiping the devil, whatever you say to these people, guess what? That is judging them. And I got news for you Christians who judge too. If you say or even insinuate that somebody with a different belief than yours is going to go to hell, then guess what? You just put yourself there. No, seriously, you just put yourself there. Maybe what Jesus meant by do unto others as you would do for yourself, or whatever he said to that effect. Maybe what he meant was treat people how you want to be treated, because how you see yourself is how you're going to, or like, maybe what he was getting at too was how you see yourself is gonna project onto how you see other people. what you want people to do to you or how you want people to act towards you is how you should and or are going to act to other people. So, Okay, and I'm hearing buzzing right now in the back of my head. Archangel Michael, are you the one buzzing in the back of my head? Okay, so it's a big no. Is it Archangel Gabriel who's buzzing? Okay. Is Jesus with you too? Okay. Is this girl that I'm talking about or that I mentioned, is she here? Okay. Does she want me to mention her in this video by her name? Okay. Does she want me to mention her by her channel name? Okay. By her actual human name? Does she want me to mention her by her actual human name? Guys, if you hear a tapping, it's because I have a glass of iced coffee by me, and every time this pendulum swings counterclockwise, it swings so big that it will literally tap the glass. So yeah. But anyway, like, for me, I'm using this pendulum to connect mostly with angels and archangels and higher ascended masters, at least until my third eye can, fully pop open, and or my consciousness can ascend it to a higher consciousness or something like that. So yeah. I mean, seriously, yeah. But also, the one thing I definitely learned from this other psychic medium that I've been watching on YouTube, and I think her consciousness or something is around right now. I say I think because I don't know 100%, or I'm not sure 100%, but I just keep hearing her first name, or yeah, her first and last name. So I don't know if she wants to say something, or if she wants me to say him or something, but the one thing I learned from her was that everybody can become psychic, I think that's what she said, that everybody can become psychic. But also, okay, I cannot think of anything else, but I'm also putting the message out there that Christians, stop being so afraid of anyone else's opinions, or anyone else's beliefs that are different than yours. Because, and this psychic medium, I heard this from her first, so I want to give her that credit of she even said, because apparently she talked to Jesus too, and I've talked to him at least 2 times that I can remember. 2 or 3 times that I can remember, I've actually seen Jesus face to face, and this psychic medium, I think she even said at one point that Jesus told her that no religion is entirely right, but also no religion is entirely wrong. And I fully agree with that statement. I fully agree with it. So Christians, before you judge someone else's difference in opinions, and for example, with me and my aunt, my opinions were not even wildly, or I want to say my opinion and the way I view God is not even wildly different than hers. But you know what, maybe it is. Because she even told me that she believes in the Bible wholeheartedly, 100%. And I don't read the Bible at all. So, because honestly, the Bible makes this Christian God, or the version of the Christian God that's told in the Bible, seriously, the God that is in the Bible looks and appears to be an abusive, manipulative, asked. So, yeah. And I feel like the only part of the Bible I really agree with is when Jesus says, do unto others as you do to, or as you would do to yourself, because that is actually true. Also, I wanted to say one more thing really quickly, and I will just edit this onto the last video, or onto the video that I just made. But you extremist Christians that do not want anyone to have a difference in opinion or a difference of religious view than you, and you basically telling people you're going to go to hell if you do not believe what I believe, or if you don't come back to God, or whatever you say. And by you just shoving Bible verses down our throats when we have not asked for that, you guys are the reason that the Christianity as a whole has a bad name and a bad reputation. And it is you extremist Christians that do stuff like that, that make other people who are not Christians, and possibly even the good Christians, hate you. Seriously. There are so many people that hate Christianity because it's extremist Christians like you who pick God to be evil, manipulative, and abusive, and who will shove Bible verses down other people's throats when it's not asked for, to try to convert those people. And let's be real, you extremist Christians, you're not doing it because you're trying to quote unquote save our souls from an eternal damnation. You are doing it because either it makes you feel good, or you are on such an ego trip that you feel like you need to try to convert somebody else. And if you do successfully convert someone, I can imagine that it is an ego trip to a degree. So, yeah, you guys are the reason Christianity, one, has a bad reputation as religion, and two, why people hate the religion in the first place. So, yeah. Take your religious views and go. Take your religious views and go, because no one asked.